Eurogames get a bad rap for having little or mundane themes. But what makes slaying a dragon any more exciting than balancing a checkbook or shipping cargo? Anyways, this is Lignum. Let's get it out of the way up front. Lignum is not a pretty game. The illustrations are muted and muddled, and the graphic design is pedestrian at best. Even the drawings of the meeples are just a little off. But who am I to judge something solely by its looks? I'd still be single if my wife adhered to that standard. So let's take a closer look at some 19th century logging. In Lignum, you'll guide your logging company over the course of 2 years in an effort to earn the most money. With just a few dollars and a single worker to your name, it won't be easy, but with some careful planning, you might just eke out a victory. Each round corresponds to a season, and each begins with a secret selection of a logging area. If you're the only one to select the site, you'll collect the food there. If there are multiple players, the food is split evenly and there will be competition for the wood later on. Players then take turns moving along the path, collecting resources for the upcoming Chop Fest. You'll gather saws, sleds, and carts amidst the hiring of woodcutters, wood sawyers, and wood bearers. You can move as far along the path as you'd like, but just like your childhood memories, you can never go back. Many of the spots are exclusive, meaning that it's a first come, first served type of deal. You can move along the path slowly, collecting extra resources, or speed away, ensuring that you get the items that you really need. The decision can feel like choosing between what you want versus what you need, and isn't that always the most fun? You'll collect tools to help you cut and move wood, hire workers that specialize in hauling, cutting, and milling wood. Hopefully, you'll have everything you need once you've reached the end of the path. Once all players have made it to the end, the lumberjacking begins. You'll send your woodcutters to the forest and put the felled trees in your woodpile. Then, you'll send your wood bearers to move that wood to your sawmill. You might employ a cart or a river raft to help out, but only if you are prescient enough to plan for it. Wood can be sent directly to the for sale pile or put in queue to be milled. Each sawyer equipped with a saw can mill one piece of raw lumber. From here, you decide whether to store the wood for the winter or put it on the for sale pile. Next, you'll decide how much wood to deliver to the task you've taken on. Tasks can be taken during your time on the path. It's essentially a contract to deliver specific pieces of lumber. If you can accomplish it, you'll get more money than selling them individually, but only at the end of the game. You'll have to decide if the increased final wealth is worth the decrease in disposable income. Kind of like saving for retirement, and if that doesn't make you giddy, I don't know what will. Now you can sell your wood for cash, and whatever you have left over will be dried. Drying wood causes their value to increase, and many tasks require wood of a certain dryness. The forests are replenished, and the spots on the path are randomized as the game resets for another round. Lignum is a game that rewards planning above all else, and if the thought of plotting your turns 3, 4, or even 5 moves ahead, and then having your plans fall apart after a bad turn makes you apprehensive in the least, then I can definitively say that this game is not for you. If, however, what you look for in a board game is the potential to feel smart and the satisfaction that comes with good old-fashioned work, then Lignum might just be tailor-made for you. Let's look at an example. One of the spots along the path is called Planned Work. The name alone might be enough to push you away or pique your interest. When you stop there, you get a benefit, but it won't come into effect until later in the game. You'll place one of your tokens on the card and the board as a reminder of how many seasons in the future you can get that benefit. The sawing planned work lets you mill 2 pieces of wood with only a single sawyer and saw, where ordinarily it would take 2 of each. If I plan the work 2 seasons from now, that means I have to have 2 pieces of wood in my sawing area, which means I also need to transport those 2 pieces of wood from my saw pile, which means I need the workers and the equipment to do that. In order to get the wood to my saw pile, I also need to have enough workers to cut down the wood, which also means I need to have access to the forest area with at least 2 wood. And don't forget, I still need the sawyer and the saw. All my ducks have to be lined up if I want to take advantage of the planned work. Plenty can go wrong. I might not have enough money to hire the workers that I need, someone might take the cart that I was planning to use for transport, and my whole plan just falls apart. I won't lie, it feels bad when that happens, but the flip side makes it all worth it. When everything goes according to plan, I feel like I'm the smartest person in the room. Real failure makes real success possible. Best of all, everything in Lignum is clear. Nothing is obfuscated. When you choose a plan to work hard, you know exactly what needs to be done. The obstacle to success comes in the form of the other players at the table. If this were a solo game, it would hardly even be a game. You could just pick up every item along the path and plan everything without a care in the world. But add an opponent, and now you have to consider their desires, their plans, and their intentions. This means that success can only be achieved by outsmarting your opponents, and this is when board games are at their best. Lignum might not be the most enticing game in the room, what with its dull artwork and mundane subject matter, but there's plenty of substance to keep you enthralled for many an evening.